have spoken about the purpose of humanity and the creation of humanity, we have spoken about the need for the Quran and the first revelation that came to transform mankind. What is the nature of this Quran? What is the nature of this revelation that Allah has sent to humanity? The nature of the Quran is a light and a ruh and a spirit. What happens when there is no light? Imagine being in complete darkness, no sun, no moon, no stars, just pitch black. How would you walk? How would you drive? How do you find your way? Without lights, we are blind, we stumble, we fall, and we become lost. Light is not a luxury, light is a necessity. Now imagine another kind of darkness, not physical darkness, but spiritual darkness, a world without guidance, truth, or meaning. A heart without faith is like an eye that cannot see. A soul without the Quran is like a body without life. A society without divine guidance is like a land engulfed in endless nights. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the Quran as both as nur and a ruh to illuminate our hearts and give life to our spirits. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. There has come to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a light and a clear book. This divine light lifts us from ignorance to knowledge, from falsehood to truth, from despair to hope. But it is not just light. The Quran is also a ruh, a soul. Without it, we are walking physically, but spiritually we are dead. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا مَا كُنْتَ تَدْرِي مَا الْكِتَابُ وَلَا الْإِيمَانُ ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم. And thus we have revealed to you, O Muhammad, a spirit from us, from our matter. Ruhan min amrina. You did not know what was the book, what was revelation before, what was Iman. But we have made it a nur that we guide whom we want with this nur, O Muhammad. So the Quran is the soul of our existence. Just as the body cannot survive without air, water and food, the soul cannot survive without the ruh, the soul of the Quran. The Quran as a light. How is Quran a light? Quran is a light because it removes darkness and guiding us to the way of Allah. Allah describes the Quran as pure light, illuminating the hearts of those who seek guidance and truth. Allah said, فَآمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَالنُّورِ الَّذِي أَنزَلْنَا. So believe in Allah, His Messenger, and the lights that we have revealed, the lights that we have sent down, which is the Quran. Quran is your light. When you are in darkness, in the darkness of dunya, turn to the light of the Quran and you will be transformed and you will find the light and the direction again. Imagine a traveler lost in the desert at night. He doesn't know where to go, but suddenly he sees a beam of light, a lighthouse in the distance, guiding him to safety. The Quran is that lighthouse. It shows us where we came from, Allah's creation and wisdom. Why are we here? Our mission to worship and serve. Where are we going? The reality of the hereafter and the reality of this dunya of existence. How to reach our destination? The path of Islam. Without this divine light, we walk blindly through life, making wrong turns, falling into traps and losing our way. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَجْعَلِ اللَّهُ لَهُ نُورًا فَمَا لَهُ مِن نُورٍ. And whoever Allah does not grant him light, for him there is no light. There is no light other than the light of Allah, which is the Quran. The Quranic light does not just help us see, it purifies, it removes the darkness of sin, the dirt of sins from our hearts, confusion and doubts, and replaces it with clarity, certainty, peace and tranquility. Our beloved Messenger ﷺ said, إنما مثل صاحب القرآن كمثل صاحب الإبل المعقلة إن عاهد عليها أمسكها وإن أطلقها ذهبت. The example of one who holds onto the Quran is like a man who owns a tied camel. If he remains vigilant, he keeps it, but if he lets go, it escapes. Holding on to the Quran's light is the difference between guidance and misguidance, success and failure, Jannah and Jahannam. The Quran as a ruh. What does it mean, Quran as a ruh? As a soul, as a spirit. Giving life to the heart, that's what it means. The Quran is not just a book of laws or stories. It is a living spirit that revives dead hearts. Hearts that are dead, it revives them. As Allah said, أَوَمَنْ كَانَ مَيْتًا فَأَحْيَيْنَاهُ وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا يَمْشِي بِهِ فِي النَّاسِ كَمَنْ مَثَلُهُ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ. Is the one who was dead and we gave him life, meaning life with the Quran, spiritual life, and made for him a light by which he walks amongst people, like the one who is in darkness, never to emerge. When people abandon the Quran, their hearts harden, they become hard, and their souls become dry. They may be physically alive, but spiritually they are dead. A man once complained to Al-Hasan al-Basri rahimahullah about his hardened heart. His heart was very hard. Al-Hasan al-Basri replied, soften it with the Quran. The heart is like a barren land. If you pour water, life grows. If you leave it dry, it turns to dust. The Quran is that water that we plant our hearts with. Without it, we suffer from spiritual droughts and starvation, and our hearts become like stone. As Allah said, ثُمَّ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُكُم مِّن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ فَهِيَ كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً. Then your hearts became hard, like stones, or even harder. But when the Quran enters the hearts, it softens, purifies, and revives. The Quran is our lifeline. The Quran is not just a book to put on the shelf, or to read it in Ramadan only, or Jumu'ah only. Quran is a light to remove darkness and guide our way. Quran is a spirit to revive our hearts and give us purpose. Quran is a healing, is a cure, medication to cure doubts, worries, concerns and sins. Quran is a rope, the rope of Allah to connect us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do we embrace it? Read it daily, even a small portion, but beautify your heart and your mind and your eyes by reading the Quran every day. Reflect on its meaning, ponder, reflect upon the Quran, think deeply and ask questions. You'll find the answers in the Quran. Live by its guidance. Apply it in your daily life holistically. Follow the teachings of Islam holistically, as Allah said. Teach it to others. Teach its wisdoms to others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَاسْتَمْسِكْ بِالَّذِي أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ hold fast to what has been revealed to you? Will you hold on to this light? Will you allow the Quran to breathe life into your hearts? The choice is ours. Let's not walk in darkness when Allah has given us light. Let's not be physically alive and spiritually dead when Allah has given us the soul of the Quran.